It's been 12 months since acquittal, and so much has passed us by. Such a scattering with evidence, and some blatant flat-out lies. There's a special new press sector, and Hank Breeden is his name. He is a dirty Boston lawyer, and his arguments are lame. He's trying to squash all of our experts, as he has no case to claim. He should have won an Oscar medal to convince the court he's sane. He can lie without a conscience and keep that smirk upon his face. I bet he wears those silky undies, the ones with edging made of lace. And Judge Beverly Academy is so biased for the state, is wading through 100 motions in a rush to seal my fate. So you can bring in Massachusetts, cause we all ain't got no quit. And we all know that the truth is my car is not the thing John hit.
Can we play the music a little longer?
Bring it, Massachusetts. Bring it.
That is awesome. Jodie did a great job of making that, guys. I mean, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Now let's all give a hand to Dan for putting on a shirt today.
Yay! Good song.
Good morning, everybody. So there is like some back and forth. Will there be a trial? Will there not be a trial?
Will there, won't there? Either way, we'll be here.
Yeah, NBC 10 Boston says there will be. Other channel says there won't be. So we're going to tune in to NBC 10 Boston.
It's not like we don't have enough content.
Got a year and a half worth of content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And I do need to practice this AI thing. So, you know.
Yeah. So good morning
my
everybody.
lovelies.
Good morning, Teresa. Good morning.
Welcome.
We got to watch this one, but good morning, Prince Jedi Master. Good morning, and we got to watch this one too. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Vince Wilson. Catch you up. Okay.
All right.
Why may there not be a trial? Enough jurors. They may not have enough jurors. Yeah.
We were under the impression that they had all been selected and that was seated and ready to go.
Yeah, there may not be enough jurors though. Because of how controversial it is, they need several alternates. And how long it's going to be. It's going to be about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking my tablets.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. And hey, Fat Girls Need Love too. Good to see you.
Yes, we do.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
That's a dilemma. Yes, it is a dilemma.
Yeah, especially when you take bloody cortisone every day.
Are they being sequestered?
That's what I asked yesterday, and
I don't think we ever found out. Did we?
Get an answer? No.
Let's ask ChatGPT. It knows everything.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Well, this database that I've got is it's like an extension of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is the engine it uses, but it's actually a lawyer-driven app. Not even that. I don't even know what you call it, but
the jurors are being sequestered, as are the witnesses.
Yeah, that's why they would have put Yannetti up first.
Wow.
Because otherwise he couldn't have been at the table. Yeah. True that.
And then it also gives me, the case has attracted significant media attention, and the court is taking measures to ensure a fair trial, including the jury's sequestration process.
Aren't they?
However, a formal announcement has not been made that the jurors have been sequestered, although they have.
Well, the witnesses aren't allowed into the court before they testify.
Yeah, Vince, but this is very high profile. She's accused of killing her cop boyfriend.
But if you're a witness, you kind of know what's going on. So what's the point of sequestering?
I don't. Maybe to keep them from talking to each other.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like they don't have a group chat going on already.
Today.
Yeah, this is true. I don't know. Let me see if they have said anything in the chat about when they're getting started. Let's see. They have not.
That's all right.
Or at least not as far as I can scroll up.
Pretty early.
Yeah.
They may find one and start this afternoon. Who knows? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But I actually, last night after we ended the stream, I sat up in bed, as I do, because my brain doesn't stop. It just tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
And I was going on over. Hey?
You said, yeah, I understand. I didn't sleep worth anything.
I did eventually, but it was late.
Yeah, I looked at my phone really late, and there you are streaming 2 streams. I was like,
I got up and put them on and just left it. I didn't even. They were just. I have to get through. I've got 5 more.
I was like, what is she doing?
Well, there's no point having half of the trial to refresh your recollection.
Yeah,
so yeah, I was hoping to get all 30 of them in before the trial started. So I'll run another 2 tonight.
Wow, the chat in this stream thinks she's guilty. Wow.
Oh, in the Boston one?
In this one, yeah. They're like, she's a blackout cop killing drunk. I was like, oh.
Right, okay.
Okay, well, there's that.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going over some of the stuff that we went through yesterday with regards to, the evidence and how a lot of it came down to because I had the 2 streams on, I have it in the background. So I was listening at the same time. And it was the Sally Port video stream all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually glad I started doing this because I have forgotten a shit ton of stuff. And I'm picking up extra stuff now than I did the first time. So a lot of the stuff that we discussed yesterday, Dan said, can be put down to laziness and incompetence, yeah?
Yeah.
As far as law enforcement goes. So when I was watching that Sally Port video and Jackson was cross-examining, I think it was Yuri Buchanik, I think.
Bukaki?
Yeah, that's the one. Bukaki, yes. It was when he told him that, it was an inverted video and was showing how the name of the police car was backwards and the 4 was backwards and stuff.
So remind me, was he the one that was on stand and he swore that was an accurate and complete?
And even when he said it's an inverted, he's like, it's a mirror image. I look at myself in the mirror and it's still, I'm saying, the same person I see. Yeah, So in the picture, it had the reversed writing from the car and the back door with the 4, but the timestamp was the right way.
Yeah, so that shows you that they manipulated it.
It was edited, and there was a chunk of time missing too. The actual time jumped. So that is one, not laziness, not incompetence. That is a cover-up. The next one. Where do we go? Now, Trooper Proctor, they have this 12-hour shift, isn't it? 7 till 7. And it was at 6:48 that he got the call from Bukaki that apparently a male body A male party was found outside a residence. That's the information that he stated he was given. A male party at a residence. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't even go out to the crime scene. He rocks up to Canton PD at 10 a.m. And meets Bukaki there to get filled in with the information. And then they bugger off to the hospital to see John's body. And what got me is that where is it? He's never referred to like by his name type of thing. Like Proctor referred to him as, you know, a body. What is it, an icicle or something like that? Jen McCabe referred to him as there's a man down in the snow. I don't understand why they don't use his name. They knew who it was. But is that part of dissociation?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah. And then when they're at the hospital and they're viewing John's body, do you know what the deciding factor was for Mr. Smarty Michael Proctor?
Oh, gosh.
On how he knew that it was a vehicle pedestrian collision because he only had one sneaker on, and that's really common.
Yeah.
I shit you not. I shit you not.
It's common?
That's what he deduced right then and there in the hospital. It must have been because he only had one sneaker on. It's it was on last night's stream. I can find it.
What?
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Brooklyn.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it is 100% sketchy. That 911 call is sketchy. When you call 911, why would you not refer to him as a police officer?
Hello? He deserves at least that. At least that. He's an officer of the police department. It's a fellow brother in blue. Oh, I agree, Vince. I absolutely agree. But the problem is the speculation that's been put out there for clickbait more than anything else is I don't know. I just don't understand. Yeah, and at the same time, all right, so within 8 hours of the incident, they had secured Karen's vehicle and her phone. But they hadn't secured the crime scene. They hadn't gone inside.
No. They were getting stuff off that crime scene for weeks.
They hadn't organised CSI to assess the crime scene. They hadn't got any search warrants to go into the house. But with 8 hours.
I have a 911 call. Can we listen to it?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, I have not listened to this, but this says Jennifer McCabe's 911 call. So let's bring this in.
It's unclear, really, isn't it? It's not particularly well.
Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I have to add stuff to stage on this one.
Yeah.
Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
A man passed
out in the snow. Why would you not say?
Damn fucking well who that is.
Why would you not say there is a police officer passed out in the snow who is not responding? One of your own, they would move a lot faster.
Yeah. And why say passed out? She can clearly see that they're doing CPR on him.
Why would you not say one of your own? It just makes no sense to me.
Yep.
Hey, Jennifer, how long to die in this cold?
Yeah, how long?
You're in Canton? Hold on. I'm going to transfer over to Canton, please. You call me. You're connected to Nolan, okay?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, is that what you've been doing, Dan?
Yes, the best. Stay on the line.
I think he's
Give me
dead.
tapping away.
See, I think
What?
he's dead.
Sorry.
Why would you not say that first? Hey, Sapphire Ridge, how are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Yes, the best. Stay on the line.
I think he's dead. You got to get here ASAP, okay?
I'm going to stay on the line. I'm going to transfer to Canton.
Okay. I know.
And see, Karen's screaming.
I don't see blankets, Carrie.
911, what's your emergency?
Yes, I need someone to come immediately to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass.
What's going on?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow.
Second time, he's just a guy. Not a police officer, just a guy. That's sketchy.
In the snow at 34?
He passed out, yes. 34, the Albert resident, yes. I just pulled up and found him.
Okay, 34.
Actually, hang on 1 second.
34
There's another
Fairview.
thing. Did Proctor know Albert?
I don't know.
Who was it that they were saying was like family?
I'm not sure. I think it was their wives knew each other from a long time ago.
Because in his statement, Proctor said that he had never met Brian Albert before the interview that he did with him for this incident. Never.
No, I don't think that's true. Yeah, I think it was their wives knew each other from a long time ago, but I could be wrong. So feel free to fact check me in the comments.
How about I'll find it on my stream that I ran last night.
Hi, Brybeer.
Hey, Brian! Congratulations! This lovely man has his nuptials this week.
Oh, you're getting married this week.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay!
Dum,
beautiful
dum,
Madison.
da-dum.
And you missed my response in the chat the other day when when you were talking about your passport, and I put like I think I put like 5 big texts.
And Brybeer puts up a very good point here.
I agree.
If it was an accident, it is the epitome of reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt.
It's an absolute tragedy, no matter what way you look at it.
And John O'Keefe deserves to have the killer brought to justice.
Yes,
I just don't think that killer is Karen. But that's me. But I
don't think he was beaten to a pulp and coerced into going back to Fairview Road either. I think it was an accident.
See, I think he was coerced going back to Fairview Road by Brian Higgins. But that, we all three of us have a different view, and that's what makes this panel amazing.
If we could have heard the conversations in the waterfall, it might have been better. But
Brian was screaming at him, but they're going to show that video in this trial. So
really,
yeah, they didn't get it till after the end of the first trial.
Oh, fancy that! Same time as they got the dog.
Yep. So let's hear this.
So there's another video.
911
Yeah.
Where's your emergency? Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry. Can you come to 34 Fairview Road in Canton?
34 Fairview?
Yes. How many times do you have to
man
say it?
Unresponsive in the snow.
3 times he's a man.
Okay. Is he blue at all?
Yeah. You've got to get here. Okay.
Okay. What's going on? Is he face down?
No, he's on his back.
Okay. And who's that in the background? Is that someone related?
Okay, that's his girlfriend. His name is John O'Keefe.
Okay, how old is he?
John is 44 years old.
She knew exactly how old he was. She knows all.
So he's 44.
46. She knows all this details about him, but
Oh yeah, sorry, 46. Sorry.
And hesitates to say he's a police officer.
46. How long has he been outside?
I don't know.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking
he
do.
got out of the car and
Is he
it could be
breathing?
a couple of hours. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't know. If
Why
he's
not go
breathing.
to the house and
They're
get blankets?
trying to heat to his body heat, and they're hysterical.
Okay, can you just try to ask him? I know it's tough, but we already have the fire department going. They just got to know if he's breathing.
Is he breathing, you guys? It doesn't seem to be breathing.
Okay, do they know how to do CPR? Do they want to attempt CPR?
You guys, Gary, can you guys do CPR? No, I guess he's gone.
Okay, they don't feel comfortable doing so?
No, I think he's passed away.
Okay. All right, we got the fire department and the police department on the way. If everyone's declining CPR, then I'll hang up with you, and if anything changes, you can give us a call back. Where are you guys outside?
Yeah.
Oh, right out front of his car. I know, I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, I know.
He's not breathing.
So, Carrie, you got to get off him, honey. Carrie, you got to get off of him. This is a scene.
Do you know if there was any alcohol or drugs involved?
Yes.
Alcohol.
They had been out.
They've been out drinking.
Yes, but I'm talking hours ago, maybe. And I think I don't know how long he's been in the snow.
Okay, is there any bleeding or anything? Maybe hit his head out?
Yes, possibly. There seems to be bleeding in the face.
Okay, bleeding from the face. All right.
That's sad.
And how big's the pool of blood, if there is any?
No pool of blood.
And one of the women is doing CPR.
Okay, one of the women is doing CPR?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That was
they're
scary.
both working on him.
All right, if she's doing CPR, just just give us a call back if he becomes responsive, right? But we're on the way.
Exactly.
Okay,
Brooklyn.
thank you.
Let me say.
That was scary. As calm as she was.
Mm-hmm.
He never says he's a police officer. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it really does.
If you ring in the 911 operators, like the call center, is that like local? Is that in Canton?
Yeah.
So do you think that they would know whose address that was if he's been an officer for 32 years in Canton?
It's possible, but it's also possible that they don't. It just depends on who answers, if it's a newer person or a person that's been there a while. My sister used to work for the 911 call center, and, it just depends on how long you've been there.
All right. Where is my video that I did up?
And before you clip this and use it against me, I'm talking about my sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
What's this one? Oh.
No, that was really
That
was really eye-opening.
Hang on, I might have a little compilation. Hang on. Oh dear. I opened it in the wrong window. What are you tippy-tapping away at, mister?
Oh no, he looks very serious.
Yes, he's very, very busy in the background there. Very.
I am doing all the calculations on maths and physics and all the rest of it that you guys wanted for the car.
Oh boy.
Yeah, hang on. I got this one for you.
Okay, what you got? Whatever. She's a mess.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I wish I had my media stuff.
All right, let me see if I can find if this actually is the one I tried to oh god, where'd it go now? Fart.
Oh, you started a second channel? Okay, I'll subscribe to it, Sapphire Ridge.
Actually, I've got a question.
Oh god.
You didn't read your emails, did you? Mr. Dan the man?
Which emails?
The one I sent today.
Hey, cheeky.
Oh god, no. I'm still recovering from the 40,000 you sent yesterday.
I did not. Lilac pants on fire.
Okay, sorry. 39,999.
Oh, I can't find what I'm looking
Cheeky
for.
monkey, you're a mess.
Videos. Karen Reid. There. Where is it?
Was there, Brooklyn?
There.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll go live tonight. We'll have to watch that.
There we go. So, this was what I put together at the time, last trial, to try and explain what position he would have had to have been in to achieve that rear head injury. And you can obviously see the size. It's a 6'4" man.
He would have had to been bending over.
Yeah, and had his head facing away from the vehicle. The other thing I thought of too, Dan, you said that he was hit with the tail light, and then did you say that his arm was like scraped up from the undercarriage of the car? Yeah, with the
it could be, yeah.
bolts and yeah. All right. How does that propel him 12 feet into the?
Remember, he does a pirouette.
Yes. Yep.
Isn't that what they said?
That's more like a dragging, isn't it? Like, I don't know if this had anything else on it, but oh yeah, the tail light. I had, it actually, the skull is stronger. It takes more.
Oh gosh, is that him? Oh
yeah.
I avoid looking at
that.
These pictures.
That is the injury that killed him.
Oh, bless his heart. Oh dear
and
God. Poor John.
Did you not see these?
I avoided looking at them in the last trial.
But you can see the puffy eyelids. You don't get that from a punch up.
No, you get that from a head injury.
It's the swelling and the blood hemorrhaging inside the brain, and because it's a closed unit, the only open bits are the occipital bones and the brain stem. That's why you get the puffiness. And see the hand? That's not a punch.
That's from an IV, I would think.
Yeah, hello. That's why I made this. They're my hands from an IV.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
I get bruised every time I have to go to an IV.
Yep. So, yeah.
Especially already his blood is not circulating anymore. It'll pool right there.
Well, because he was drinking, that would have made him lose blood faster.
Yeah, his blood spanned out.
Yes, and according to the medical examiner, it was 3 liters he lost. Now that I actually have a picture of the snow where they removed his body from. There's a few drops. That's it.
That's a good idea, Brooklyn. Do we have a picture of Colin Albert's knuckles?
Yes. Yes, remember, he fell in the snow and landed
backwards
on his knuckles. Yeah.
Backwards and landed on his knuckles on the ice.
Yeah, that's right.
We totally believe that too.
Never been in a fight. And then 24 hours later, 2 surfaced. 2 videos of him.
Yeah, pull up. Surfaced. Pull up.
Pull up, bitch.
Pull up.
Yep.
Pull up.
Yep.
Which
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Is that what he was saying? Oh gosh. Yep. I just seen a little short of him going, yeah, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Yeah. Yeah, because someone made a song out of it with Alan Jackson. It's so funny. It's difficult. Actually, I sent my song to what's his name? I'm gonna have to go to my emails. Sent. Who's the funny guy that makes all the songs on X? Joe.
I don't know.
Joe Flipperhead. Flipperhead? Yes.
Oh yeah, Joe Flipperhead.
Yeah, yeah. He gave me his email address, so I sent him my song.
No, not Turtle Boy. However, I do like Turtle Boy's version of Tick Tick Boom.
Yes, it's good, isn't it? Yeah. Now that was the question I was going to ask. So there's. I'm not going to put names. I'm going to keep it anonymous. But say someone had set up a stream, and it was like a Verdict Watch stream, and it was ongoing for quite some time, and it was a preset stream, like they'd preset it to run.
All right,
and
some sleep.
Were out of internet service for family reasons, in an area that they could not get internet, and so the stream didn't get shut down. And once they got back to internet service, there happened to be a copyright strike and a 90-day restriction.
For what reason?
For the extended time of that stream.
That's not a reason they would do it. It would have to be a different reason.
Is there a back door into? It's got to be a back door somewhere, surely.
Into what?
Yeah,
into YouTube. They rim enough people.
Yeah, like I could help with that, but there would have to be a different like they wouldn't do it just because you did an extended stream, unless the stream went for more than 24 hours.
I think it did, yeah, because it was a verdict watch stream. And it was the Seaman Silly case.
Okay. I could help with that if you want to give them my information.
I do believe they have it.
Okay. I can help
Fox
with that.
News is doing a thing on this trial right now. Woo! Fox News!
Fox News.
Do, 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 do. Oh, God, I can't even. You can't even keep me headphones on, let alone find Fox freaking News.
I got all the foxes pulled up, and I don't see anything left. I lied. Here's just.
Let's do it.
Nope. That's. It's just a watch stream, and it's not doing anything. Broken Baker.
Watch live jury selection. That one.
Yeah, but it's not doing anything. Yeah, I don't see anything.
That's not. Oh, yeah, it's just started.
I don't see a Fox News Live.
Is there a Boston Fox?
I'm sure there are foxes in Boston. Huh. See, I think I'm funny.
See, I've got all these numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 29, 35, 61. I have no idea what they all mean. What about Eyewitness News? What have they got? Sweet FA. So how do you get out of a 90-day
hold?
Because they couldn't shut it down.
You pretty much have to explain your situation and apologize. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you do. And you have to kind of make a video apologizing and put a link to the video.
Really?
Yeah, I had to help an ex-friend do that one time, and it worked. They removed it within like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I will.
I don't see the Fox one. Do you guys see that? I still see 2 more jurors needed in the Karen Reed trial.
I'll put it in the chat for you, in the private chat, though.
Okay.
What's Court TV got on?
Oh gosh, really?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That leaves me in a pickle.
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, give him the information. Yeah.
Not a happy chappy.
Yeah, I'm sure not. This is hard.
Yeah.
Especially with this channel size, he'll be fine.
Well, I think it's been one of those things where the bigger he's gotten, the harder they've.
That's the way it goes, and it stinks. But
yeah, can we do a reaction to CLR Bruce Rivers? Do you like Bruce Rivers?
Bruce
Rivers,
the criminal lawyer.
Yes.
Bruce Rivers, I'm the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, I'm the criminal lawyer. Yeah, yes. Sure.
Can we?
Yeah.
You can't shoot people. He's so funny. He cracks me up.
Has he done one on Karen Reed?
I don't think so, no.
Let's see.
He's done one on Sarah Boone, but let me.
He has done one on Karen Reed.
Has he? We can play that.
Yes.
Right?
We've got to watch that one.
Yes. He's so funny. Share screen. World's dumbest criminal.
I've got one.
You know about this.
Karen Reed, Was She Framed? That's the one.
I've seen that. Yeah. He doesn't really know a great deal about he hasn't done any research on it. So what he explains is
vague,
not accurate,
very vague.
Yeah. You know about his son, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor bugger.
What is this about?
I don't know. It just said the dumbest criminal, and you can't shoot people. So
imagine that.
Shout out to CLR Bruce Rivers.
I know it seems controversial.
And Jodie, unmute would be good.
Don't watch court TV. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can't watch court TV.
Why?
Sometimes you get lucky with court TV. Sometimes you don't. Court TV will strike you sometimes.
You just can't shoot people. You can't just shoot somebody because they're fucking with your shit.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Don't self-snitch.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. I'm here to serve you, the general public, as a criminal defense.
What is the funniest shit is that he's sponsored by eforms.com, right? And he has a different story about his grandma in the basement every time with a different need for an e-form.
Oh my gosh.
She's had old OnlyFans pages and all sorts of shit.
His grandma?
Not just a criminal defensor, but a board certified criminal defensor.
Grandma.
And what does that mean? That means I come at this with a tried, true, and tested experience. I've been through the trenches, and so when you see reaction from me, it is there's a little bit behind it.
We do a reaction.
Almost 30 years of practice. Now, so we're reacting to dumb criminal realizes he just can't shoot people.
Imagine
this was originally done by redtreestories.com. So make sure you go to Red Tree Stories.
That's a great channel.
Give them some love. They're doing some good work. But before we get to this cold reaction, because I haven't seen this, I have no idea what it's going to be. If you have a question, a legal question, you can go to askalawyer.com.
Oh,
doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and you can get a question answered by a certified.
I have used them before.
Lawyer.
Really?
And they also have an AI component. So go to askalawyer.com. You know, that's what my grandmother does in her basement, or my basement, actually. So grandma's in my basement, and it's kind of a conflict for me to advise her, especially when she complains about me, that I don't feed her properly, and I've got her locked to a chain to a couch, and I don't
that is just not funny.
Which is none of that's true, by the way. But she likes to make stories up. So she goes to askalawyer.com to see if she's got a claim against me, and they usually tell her no. The AI kind of said, well, you should do this, and this, and so I've had to fight those off. But Grandma and I are in a good place now. I let her do everything she wants to do. She's got a new crotch rocket, and she just goes, whatever she does. But the one thing she relies on is askalawyer.com to make sure that I'm in check. So you go to askalawyer.com if you have a question everybody's got a legal question here and there, right? And sometimes if you get the answer that you're looking for, you realize, oh God, I would have gone down a rabbit hole, and it might save you a whole lot of hassle. So go to askalawyer.com. And
come on, get on with it.
They're the same people that we're at eForms and Eastside.
Oh, there you go.
So give them some love, because they're an incredibly loyal sponsor. I think we're in our 3rd or 4th year with them. They're incredibly loyal sponsor to us. So, and we have a really
to Houston, Texas, and arrested this man, 32-year-old Amenra Felton, for murder. They believe that Amenra fled to Texas after shooting and killing a woman in Rochester, New York.
One of the things that you can garner from somebody fleeing a jurisdiction is consciousness of guilt. So I commit the crime, then I fucking take off because I don't want to get caught. That's consciousness of guilt evidence.
I'm sure you got some questions, and so do we. Hopefully you can answer some questions for us so we can fill in some blanks for you. All right? Yeah.
Okay. What should he do
Today?
right now? You know. I would like to talk to a lawyer, please.
The same
I don't
day?
answer any questions until I talk to my lawyer.
Wow,
Stop
she's really
self-snitching,
rushing
right?
this, isn't she?
Well,
Hey, I'm down for it.
You're down here in Texas, right?
They said New York is here with a warrant for me.
Okay. We're from New York. Okay. All right. I'm not going to bullshit you. We're from New York.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. How long have you been in Texas for?
2 days.
2 days?
Not too long.
Not too long? All right. So what brings you down here? Just a family trip? You got family down here? Or?
What brings you down to Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, they're in court. Do you want to go to court?
Hey?
They're in court. Do you want to go to court?
Is it running? Like, is there?
Yeah, it's running.
Have you got the feed?
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, it's fine. I was just killing time. Go for it.
I'm trying, but StreamYard is not cooperating with me. Can I
Won't let
drop?
me-
Can
Oh,
I
hang on,
drop your feed?
I have to. Yeah. Sorry. Wow.
Please.
Mute. Yep.
A2 CR117, the Commonwealth versus.
Can you boost the sound?
Council identify themselves.
Let me see.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
Is that better?
Good morning, Mr. Lally.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hank Brennan for the Commonwealth.
Good morning, Mr.
Morning, douchebag.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
I like her.
Good
morning,
morning,
Miss
Ms. Little.
Good morning, Mr. Leslie.
Good morning, Mr. Alessi.
Good morning, Mr. Yannetti.
You know, there's a X handle for Alessi's bald spot.
Good morning, Miss George. Good morning, Miss Reed. All right, good morning, jurors. My name's Beverly Canoni. I'm a judge of this court, and I want to welcome you here today and give you some idea on how we think your day is going to shape up. As you've heard, we're impaneling a criminal case, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Oh, this is jury selection.
Before we begin, I want to
No, I
thank
thought
you for
they
your
had a-
service here today and for your patience. Jury service is certainly one of the most important duties we have as citizens,
Duties.
and we simply couldn't work
duty.
without you. The
Yeah.
system would fail. So we really appreciate
Yeah,
that
this
you're
is a
here, ready, willing, and able to
empanelment
serve
speech.
if called upon to
Yeah,
do
it
so.
looks like a Brooklyn.
Now, in this case, the Commonwealth alleges that at approximately 6 a.m. on January 29, 2022, the Canton Police Department received a 911 call reporting an unresponsive male party in the snow
Not a
outside
cop.
a residence at 34 Fairview Road in
I'll
that
check it.
town. Officers responded and discovered the man, later identified as John O'Keefe, off the roadway in the front lawn area.
Of another
Officers
cop.
identified 3 women with Mr. O'Keefe, one of whom was the defendant, Karen Reed, the girlfriend of Mr. O'Keefe. The defendant had been with Mr. O'Keefe the previous evening at 2 different bars in Canton and had driven with him to his residence in the early morning hours of this date. Mr. O'Keefe was treated by paramedics from the Canton Fire Department and transported to the Good Samaritan Medical Center, where he subsequently was pronounced deceased. The Commonwealth alleges that the defendant struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle earlier that morning and then left the scene while Mr. O'Keefe lay injured in the snow during a blizzard. Ms. Reed denies these allegations. She is presumed to be innocent and has pled not guilty. Ms. Reed is charged with second-degree murder. The defendant is also charged with manslaughter while operating a motor vehicle under the influence and leaving the scene after causing personal injury or death. I'll describe these crimes in greater detail at the end of the case when I teach the jury the law, but briefly, murder is the unlawful killing of a human being. There are various ways in which the Commonwealth can prove a murder case, and the Commonwealth is permitted to proceed under all theories it believes it can prove. Here, the Commonwealth alleges that the defendant committed murder and that murder was murder in the second degree. In order to prove Ms. Reed guilty of second-degree murder, the Commonwealth must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she committed an unlawful killing and that it was done with malice. In comparison, involuntary manslaughter is an unintentional, unlawful killing caused by wanton or reckless conduct. These terms and the elements of the crimes will be explained to you in detail at the end of the case before you begin your deliberations. Now, at the outset, I would like to address the issue of public interest in this case and the duty of this court to adhere to the rule of law. John Adams said that we are a government of laws, not of men, and that the law must be deaf to the clamoring of the public. He meant that while public opinion about a given subject may ebb and flow, the law must be steady, reliable, and even-handed. We know that in the subject of this case, there are people advocating for one outcome or another with intensity, but without the benefit of having heard or seen any evidence at all in this case. The law works in a different way, and the difference is crucial to our system of justice. The jurors selected for this trial
Could you
will
pause
hear
for
and
1
judge
minute,
the evidence.
my darling?
They will decide what the...
I have just found the Canton audit assessment.
Yeah. I sent
Like
it to you not too long ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You want to go over that when they break?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, it's good. It's really
Just
good.
reading it now.
Facts are, and where the evidence is contested, they will determine where the truth lies. Ultimately, the jury will decide whether the Commonwealth has carried its burden of proving that the defendant is guilty of any crime beyond a reasonable doubt. People outside of this building have rights, and we know that they have voices, but this criminal trial will be decided by an independent jury, free from outside interference, based only upon the evidence presented in this courtroom and the law. This is the only way to ensure that every person who comes before the court receives a fair trial. It is just that simple and that important. So while public comment will likely continue, the rule of law will be upheld. In order to determine your eligibility to serve on this case, I'm going to ask you a series of questions as a group, and then I'm going to ask you to fill out a supplemental questionnaire. We have found that the use of this questionnaire is helpful for several reasons. First, there are some personal questions on it, and we ask that you be candid. In addition, the process of filling out the questionnaire provides the opportunity to be more reflective as you answer the questions, rather than being put on the spot and asked to give immediate answers. After you fill out the questionnaire, we will have each one of you come up to the sidebar one at a time so that we can follow up with you on your answers to that questionnaire and to my questions. I want to thank you in advance for your patience as we go through this process. As you may know, the lawyers for the parties participate in the selection of the jury. Under our law, each of the parties has the right to exercise what we call juror challenges. This means that each party has the right to challenge a certain number of prospective jurors for any reason or for no reason at all. Therefore, some of you will be excused.
Which means a reason
during
that they're not going to tell you about.
If you're not selected for jury service on this case, please don't take it personally. Don't think that somehow you're not a fair person. It's not a reflection on you at all. You will be directed back to the jury room and perhaps picked on another case.
I mean, I'm just
in a few minutes, I'll pose a number of
Hey,
questions.
do you want some good news?
And you've taken a note that requires you to truthfully
Pause it a
answer
second,
those
Mandy.
questions and all questions.
What's up?
We're doing better than Fox News because their broadcast of this has no audio.
You heard it here first. The Defense Quest Miss Mandy Reacts on Welsh News Network.
Yeah, check the link at the top of chat.
Bringing it to you live.
Yeah.
We're actually
With
more
style.
professional than Fox News Network.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to take
So
out
hit
your
that
juror
subscribe
cards yet.
button
I'll ask
now.
you to do that at a later
Hells yeah.
time. But if your answer is yes to any of the questions that I ask, at that time, I'll ask you to raise your hand and you'll hold up your juror card in the air with the numbers facing out so that the court officer can read it. The fact that you answer yes to one of my questions does not mean that you're automatically disqualified from jury service. It simply means that there are matters that the lawyers and I need to discuss with you at sidebar. If you find a question posed to the group overly intrusive, you may elect to answer that at sidebar as well. I will have additional questions for you which relate to the issues that may be raised in the trial and are designed to give us information regarding your ability to serve as a fair and impartial juror, and the lawyers are permitted to ask you questions for the same purpose. This is not a test. There is no right or wrong answer. We're simply looking for your best and honest answer to the question. I'm now going to ask the lawyers to introduce you, and I'm going to ask counsel for Ms. Reed to introduce your client.
May I, Your Honor?
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hank Brennan. I represent the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I appreciate you being here. I'd like you to meet my colleagues.
Good morning. My name is Laura McLaughlin. I'm an assistant district attorney for the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. I thank you for being here this morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Lara, assistant district attorney with the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. I just want to thank you in advance for your time and attention today.
And you won't hear my voice anymore today. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Jackson. I have the honor and privilege of representing Ms. Karen Reed, who's standing to my right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elizabeth Little, and I also have the honor of representing.
Good morning. My name is Robert Alessi. Thank you for being here today. I have the privilege of representing.
Easy, Bob. Settle down.
Good morning. My name is David Yannetti. I'm an attorney. I have offices in Boston and right here in Dedham, and it is truly my pleasure to represent Karen Reed.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria George, and
I do like Alessi Brooklyn.
Who's Victoria George? You see the other juror?
She was the juror in the last case. Yeah.
I thought so. She was allowed to
I'm going to
represent.
read you a witness list.
She's not representing.
It's very
She's
long.
sitting in
It
behest.
does not mean that
Okay.
every person whose name I called will be called as
That's
a
why she's
witness.
sitting behind them.
It means that some of the folks whose names are on this list
I'm
are just
surprised
people
that
you
Bev
may
allowed it,
hear
honestly.
about during the trial. I'd ask that you pay close attention to these names because in a little while I'm going to ask you folks if you know any of these people. The list is alphabetical, but it's alphabetical by first name. Aidan Kearney, who is from Jefferson, Mass. Dr.
I know him.
Isaac or Isaac Wolf from South Miami, Florida. Alfredo Lopalato from Canton. Allison McCabe, Canton. Andre Porto from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. Andrew Klain from Bridgewater. Andrew Rentschler, who's a PhD from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Angela Malvone from Canton. Annie Chung from Canton. Anthony Flamati, who is with the Canton Fire Department. Ashley Bell from Canton, Ashley Valier from the State Police Crime Lab, Brian Albert, Norwood, Brian Albert Jr., Boston, Brian Higgins, Sandwich, Brian Loughran from Canton, Brian Wanless.
That's exactly what I think when I see him as Sandwich.
Department, Bridget Meehan, who is keeper of the records in Canton, Caitlin Albert, Easton, Lieutenant Charles Ray from the Canton Police Department, the chief of the Canton Police Department, Helena Rafferty, Chris Van E., who is a PhD from Novi, Michigan, Christina Hanley from the Mass State Police, Christopher Albert, Canton, Christopher Curran, Canton, Colleen Crawford from the Norfolk District Attorney's Office,
Norfolk,
Colin Albert, Canton, Courtney Proctor, Canton, Kurt Roberts, Canton, Daniel Whitley from the Canton Fire Department, Daniel Wolf, who is a PhD from Penns Park, Pennsylvania, Derek Ellington from Wake Forest, North Carolina, Dr. Marie
Wadesboro,
Russell
shout
from
out.
Los Angeles, Dr.
15 minutes on the
Elizabeth
road.
Lopasada, who is from Providence, Elizabeth Proctor, Canton, Eric Hanlon, Canton, Erin Beatty, Canton, Erin O'Keefe from West Bridgewater, Francis Walsh from the Canton Fire Department, Garrett Wing from Green Cove Springs, Florida, Gary Fowler from Brockton, Gregory Woodbury from the Canton Fire Department, Gretchen Voss, Boston, Hannah Knowles from the State Police Crime Lab, Heather Maxson from Walpole, Arabito Hernandez from the Boston Police Department, Holly Price from Mountain View, California, Ian Whiffen from Vienna, Virginia, Dr. Irene Scorti-Bello, who is
She's
with
the MA.
the Chief Medical Examiner's Office in Massachusetts, James Crosby, who is a PhD from Jacksonville, Florida, Janet Reed from Dighton, Jason Becker from the Canton Fire Department, Jean DeMoulis from Canton, Jennifer McCabe, Canton, Jessica Hyde from Bridgeport, New York, John O'Keefe Sr., who lives in Braintree, Judson Welcher, who's a PhD with a company called Aperture LLC, Julie Albert, Canton, Julie Nagel, Canton, Dr. Justin Rice from South Weymouth. There are 2 juveniles who may be witnesses in this case. They both are from Canton, and the first one's initials are KF, and the second one's initials are PF. Caitlin Boudreau from Raynham, Karina Kolakithas, Canton, Katie Camerano, Canton, Katie McLaughlin from the Canton Fire Department. Keeper of the records for Ring from Hawthorne, California, Kerry Curran, Canton, Kerry Roberts, Canton, Kevin Albert, Canton, Kevin O'Hara from the Mass State Police, Lance Mello from the State Police Crime Lab, Laura Sullivan, Pembroke, Laurie Cahill, Worcester, Leslie Pearlstein, Canton, Lieutenant Michael Lank from the Canton Police Department, Louis Jutras, Canton, Lieutenant Brian Tully and Lieutenant John Fanning, both from the Massachusetts State Police, Lieutenant Paul Gallagher, Canton Police Department, Maggie Gaffney from Bonita Springs, Florida, Mark Lopalato from Canton, Margaret O'Keefe from Canton, Marietta Sullivan, Pembroke, Mary Souza, Dighton, Matthew Amory, Canton, Matthew DeSogra from Charlotte, North Carolina, Matthew Erickson from Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, Matthew Kelly from the Canton Fire Department, Matthew Kelsch from the FBI, Matthew McCabe, Canton, Maureen Harnett from the State Police Crime Lab, Megan Mariani from New York, New York, Michael Camerano, Canton, Michael Easter, Los Angeles, Michael Trotter from the Canton Public Works Department, Michael Wagner, Foxborough, Mike Meroli, from Bridgewater, Mike Rushworth from Thompson Station, Tennessee, Natalie Wyweek Berschneider from San Marino, California, Nathan Reed, Raynham, Nicholas Bradford, Lorton, Virginia, Nicholas Curran, West Roxbury, Nicholas Kolakithas, Canton, Nicole Albert, Norwood, Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey, Officer Kelly Deaver from the Boston Police Department, Officer Nicholas Barrows from the Dighton Police Department, Patrick Haggerty, Somerset, Paul Makowski from Melrose, Paul O'Keefe from Canton, Rebecca Bazin, Canton, Rebecca Trayers from Norfolk, Dr. Renee Stonebridge, who is also from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Boston, Richard Green, St. Pete Beach, Florida, Richard Donatino.
You're just stressed out because it's tax season. Calm
Robert
down.
Gilman from Hull, Ryan Nagel, Canton, Sarah Levinson, Canton, Sergeant Brian Gallerini from the Needham Police Department, Sergeant Sean Good from the Canton Police Department, Sergeant Paul D. Giampetro, Canton Police Department, Sergeant Yuri Buchanan from the Mass State Police.
Bukaki, you said it wrong.
Shannon Burgess from South Lake, Texas, Cheryl Waugh from Canton, Sophie Herzan from the State Police Crime Lab, Stephanie Devlin, also from the Crime Lab, Stephen Mullaney, Canton Police Department, Steve Nelson from the Norfolk County DA's office, Stephen Bernstein, who is a keeper of the records in Stoughton, Stephen Ridge, Boston Police Department, Stephen Seraph, Canton Police Department, Stephen Scanlon, West Roxbury, Terry Kuhn, who is from Davis, California,
Good call, IRS.
Tess Chart from Lorton, Virginia, Thomas Beatty from Canton, Thomas Kelleher, Canton, Thomas Martin, Weymouth, Timothy Nuttall from the Canton Fire Department, Tristan Morris from Easton.
I'm just gonna leave that duck right
The following are Massachusetts State Police troopers: Trooper Connor Keefe, Trooper David DeChico, Trooper Evan Brent, Trooper Jeffrey Kuskowski, Trooper Joseph Paul, Trooper Kathleen Prince, Trooper Michael Proctor.
Oh, excuse
Trooper
me.
Nicholas
Excuse
Galino,
me.
Trooper Zachary Clark.
Excuse me, ma'am. You said Trooper Michael Proctor. He is no longer a trooper. I'm going to need you
He's
to remove
disgraced.
him.
Disgraced, Trooper Proctor.
I'm going to need you to remove him from that list. Thank you.
Wendell Robery from Canton, and William Reed from North Dayton, Mass. So there are a lot of witnesses, so you know that this is going to be a long trial. We're in the process of impaneling a jury. We began a while ago, and we're getting close. So I don't know when we will get a jury, but once we get a jury, when we start the evidence, I am told by the lawyers that the evidence is expected to take 6 to 8 weeks. After that, you'll hear the lawyers on closing arguments. I will instruct you on the law, and the jury will begin deliberations. And the jury can deliberate for as long as they need to deliberate. So that's our schedule, our time schedule. It is a good faith estimate. Sometimes cases go longer, sometimes they're shorter. What I can tell you is at every jury trial, at the end of the day, I tell the jurors whether we are on track, whether we are ahead of schedule, or whether we're behind schedule. And I have not had to say that we are behind schedule, I think, ever. So we make every effort to make the best use of your time because we know how important your time is to you. The daily schedule will be that we'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll take a break for about 15 or 20 minutes, sometime around 11 o'clock. Then we'll break for lunch sometime around 1 o'clock. Lunch will be brought in for you folks every day. Again, it's an effort to make efficient use of your time so you don't have to walk down to the center and come back. The luncheon break will be about 30, 40 minutes each day, and then we'll go until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If we go any later, I always ask the jury if it's okay with them if we go later. So the latest we would go would be 4:30 if we wanted to finish up a witness.
That's
So
fair.
that's our schedule. There will be a few days and few half days in there sprinkled throughout, and I'll give those dates to the seated jurors at the time. So that's the schedule we'll be working from. Now, it might help if I give you a preview now about some basic law that applies to criminal cases
rule
like
on
this. It's my job to teach the jury the law at the end of the case, but for now,
the
I'll
trip
give
to
you
the
a very
scene?
brief summary of some very important constitutional principles
Yes,
that
they're
will govern
going.
this trial.
And is
First,
Karen allowed to
and
go?
most basically,
That I
Ms.
don't
Reed
know.
starts this trial presumed to be
I
innocent.
assume they're all
the
going.
fact that she was arrested or that she was indicted is
She
not
has the
proof
right
of
to go if
anything.
they're going.
An
Yeah,
indictment
but
is simply a
Beverly,
piece of paper. It
there was a
just makes
motion
an
to
accusation.
Make her
An
not go?
indictment is
it.
a formal
Yeah.
manner of bringing a
Oh, I don't know
case
then.
of a person accused of a crime before the superior court in this case. But it is only the jury, in other words, you folks, who can decide whether the prosecution has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. If the Commonwealth does not do that, then the presumption of innocence requires you to find the defendant not guilty. The law does not require a defendant to prove her innocence, to produce any evidence whatsoever, or to do anything other than attend the trial. This presumption of innocence remains with the defendant until you, the jury, make your determination after listening and considering all the evidence. Another important principle of law is that the defendant has an absolute right not to testify, since the entire burden of proof in this case is on
Do
the
you think she'll
Commonwealth
get
to
up?
prove that she is guilty. Under our system of law,
I
a
really
defendant has a
don't
perfect
know.
right to say to the jury, you accuse me,
If
now
she's
you
smart,
prove
she
it,
won't.
and prove it beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty. I do not have to say a word. A defendant's decision whether or not to testify has nothing to do with the question of whether she is guilty or not guilty. The jury must not consider it in any way or even discuss it at all in their deliberations. Jurors in a criminal case must determine whether the Commonwealth has proved its case against the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt based solely on the testimony of the witnesses and the exhibits.
Ma'am, this
That
trial
brings
is a
me to the
definition of
requirement of
reasonable
proof
doubt.
beyond a reasonable doubt. What is proof beyond a reasonable doubt?
This
The
case.
term is often used and probably pretty well understood, though it is not easily defined. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt does not mean proof beyond all possible doubt, for everything in the lives of human beings is open to some possible or imaginary doubt. A charge is proved beyond a reasonable doubt if, after you have compared and considered all of the evidence, you have in your minds an abiding conviction to a moral certainty that the charge is true. When we refer to moral certainty, we mean the highest degree of certainty possible in matters relating to human affairs based solely on the evidence that has been put before you in a case. I have told you that every person is presumed to be innocent unless and until he or she is proved guilty, and that the burden of proof is on the Commonwealth. If you evaluate all the evidence and you still have a reasonable doubt remaining, the defendant is entitled to the benefit of that doubt and must be acquitted. It is not enough for the Commonwealth to establish a probability, even a strong
I forgot to tell you guys
probability,
that. You have
the
red
defendant
solo
is more
cup
likely
emojis
to
now.
be guilty than not guilty.
Red
That is
solo
not
what?
enough. Instead, the
You have
evidence
red.
must convince you
My
of the
chat has
defendant's
red solo
guilt
cup
to a
emojis.
reasonable and moral certainty, a certainty that convinces your understanding and satisfies your reason
Actually,
and judgment
give me
as
1
jurors
second.
who are sworn to act conscientiously on the evidence. This is what we mean by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Our system of justice depends on judges like me and jurors like you being able and willing to make careful and fair decisions. All people deserve fair and equal treatment in our system of justice, regardless of their race, national origin, religion, age, ability, gender, sexual orientation, education, income level, or any other personal characteristic. You have agreed to be fair, and I am sure you want to be fair, but that is not always easy. One difficulty comes from our own built-in expectations and assumptions. They exist even if we're not aware of them and even if we believe we do not have them. Some of you may have heard this called implicit bias, and that's what I'm talking about. Of course, we judges have the same problem as everyone else, so let me share a few strategies that we have found useful. First, slow down. Do not rush to a decision. Hasty decisions are more likely to reflect stereotypes or hidden biases. Second, keep an open mind. Avoid drawing conclusions until the end of the case when you and your fellow jurors deliberate. Remember that when you deliberate, you will have all the evidence and all the time you need to make a careful decision. So there truly is no need to start making up your mind before then. Third, you should listen closely to all the witnesses. That is the best way to ensure that you decide this case based on the evidence and the law instead of upon unsupported assumptions. Fourth, as you listen to the testimony about the people involved in this case, consider them as individuals rather than as members of a particular group. And finally, I might ask myself, would I view the evidence differently if the people were from different groups, such as different racial, ethnic, or gender identity groups? At the end of the case, I will remind you of these strategies and ask you to focus on the evidence instead of any unsupported assumptions you may have. All we ask is that you, individually and as a group, do your best to resolve this case based upon the evidence and the law without sympathy, bias, or prejudice, to the best of your ability as human beings. Now, I know that some of this may be confusing, and perhaps all of it's confusing at this early stage. Please don't worry about it, because you'll be in a better position to understand this at the end of the case when you've heard the evidence and when I can explain the law in detail. So don't be worried if you didn't catch everything I've said. Why am I telling you these things now? Because we need to know if you are able to follow the law in this case. You don't necessarily have to agree with the law, but all jurors will have to apply the law as I describe it to you. So for jury selection, it's important to know if any of you might have some doubts whether you can accept and follow these legal principles. So now's a good time to take out your card, because I'm going to start asking you questions in a minute.
Oh, here we go.
So if your answer is yes to any question, I'd ask that you raise your hand. But before
you see my little red
begin,
solo cup?
I understand that sometimes jurors do not fill out the questionnaires completely. Sometimes we're just in a hurry to get those forms back in, or we think that our situation doesn't apply to the question being asked, or sometimes we simply forget to put something on there. If the lawyers or I see that there's something that's missing, we will ask you. But if you're sitting here now and you realize that you maybe didn't include prior work history or prior involvement with the courts as a defendant in a criminal case, as a witness to a case, as a juror, anything that you know that you didn't include, I would ask that you tell us at sidebar. And if we see something, what happens with some frequencies,
ever
people
scooped up
forget to
blood
put their
in a
age
solo
on
cup?
there. We have to ask you because we have to keep a record. All right, so my first question. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with any of the witnesses? If so, please raise your hand.
1083 1108.
Uh-oh.
1127 1115
1122 1086 1114.
You guys are automatically out.
1093 1100.
Thank you. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with any of the lawyers or the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office? If so, please raise your hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
1114 1086 1108.
1086 is determined to get out.
Thank you. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member have any financial or other personal interest whatsoever in this case or its outcome? I see no affirmative responses. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand if you have seen, heard, or read or talked about this case.
It's going to be everybody.
1136 1198 1098. My apologies. 1068 1090 1120 1082 1109 1138 1075 1108 1125 1063.
I'm with you on this.
What?
There's miss anyone that doesn't raise their hand because they're a liar.
1087 1131 1102 1106 1137
Apparently the glare is in court today for jury selection.
Glare is. Ma'am, all the jurors, ma'am. Ma'am, all the jurors.
1122 1080 1086.
There's 086 has answered yes for everything. 86 is like, I'm not here for this, ma'am.
Yep.
1141 1139 1093 1140 1066
1107 1085 1127 1119.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just saw a funny. Sorry.
What?
Funny thing on X.
I'm laughing at RS.
Thank you.
1086 is noping right on out.
Please raise your hand if you have formed or expressed an opinion in this case.
Are you serious?
Can I put this up?
MISS MANDY.
1090
Can you pause for a second and I'll chuck this up and see what it is? It looks funny. It's only a minute.
Yeah, sure. Do I have to remove this or? Yeah.
Did that come up?
No, go ahead. You have to add it to stage.
Hang on. I've got to get back to
I can't see it.
Hang on.
Oh, there
you
you
see
go.
it now?
Okay. Maybe she calls the bite marks to John's arm.
Well, it's a video. Hang on, I'll play it. I don't know what it is, but it looked funny.
And I don't feel bad because she shouldn't have took her ass on that stage acting a fool. She should not have taken her ass on that stage acting a fool. Why would
she bit John? Same teeth as Chloe.
If I see you this,
Hey,
just
Bud.
know
Hey, Bud
just
Bloomers.
know I'm gonna put on the
Good to
show.
see you.
Okay.
Hey, Bud Bloomers.
This might be my new thumbnail for my YouTube videos. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I might change today's thumbnail and put this.
That is hilarious.
It does look like The Exorcist.
I'm taking a screenshot.
Yeah.
I got a screenshot.
It's more of the Jen. Did I hit him? And then she would yell, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? And then she was yelling, we have to go to Fairview.
Yeah, because that's the last
And
place she
in
saw him
addition to
alive.
Ms. Reed, what, if anything, else did you see when you opened up the door?
That girl laughing
Oh my
is
God.
hilarious.
Just
In a better way.
Yeah.
Did you see a vehicle?
Yes.
Sorry.
Their impressions of Jen's teeth, not Chloe's.
She does look like a ferret, doesn't she?
That is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Where did we go?
Oh.
Did you remove us?
No.
Let's
Oh,
do-
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
There we go.
That's it.
I'm going to speed it up just a little bit so we can catch
Yeah.
up.
1072 1093 1140 1066
1107
There's calling out numbers.
1085 1115 1112 1121 1096.
Thank you.
Who's surprised they called 86?
Are any of you folks aware of any bias or prejudice that you may have in regard to this case or in favor of or against either of the parties? If so,
That's
please
what
raise
we
your hand
need.
now.
We need some bullshit Brennan bingo.
Karen bingo would be fun. These are people admitting to bias.
1093 1140
Thank you.
86 didn't admit to bias? Are you kidding?
Do any of you folks have any difficulty hearing or any problem with understanding the
What?
English language, any physical or mental condition, or any religious or philosophical beliefs that would interfere with your ability to hear the evidence in this case, to understand the evidence, to concentrate during the trial, or to deliberate for the purpose of reaching a verdict? If so, please raise your hand.
I want to know when the lucky day is, Brian.
1073 1142 1078
Could you say that one again?
Last one?
Yes.
1078
Thank you.
1103 1129
Thank you. Do any of you folks have any difficulty understanding or following
What?
those very important constitutional rights that
What'd
I
you
told
say?
you about? First,
Ah.
that the burden of proof rests entirely with the Commonwealth. Second, that burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral
mushroom dress.
certainty. And third, that the defendant has absolutely no burden. She doesn't have to testify. She doesn't have to put on any evidence. All she needs to do is show up for the trial. Is there anyone that would have any difficulty applying those very important constitutional principles?
Yep.
I see no affirmative
What did she say?
responses.
I couldn't
I
understand.
can tell you folks that after every jury trial, I go in and I talk to the jurors. And though they may not have been thrilled about having jury duty when they walked in for the first time, by the end of the trial, there have been people on every single jury that have told me that they found their experience to be an interesting one. And many people have told me that they've also found it to be a rewarding one. But I do understand that for some of you sitting on this jury could be a substantial hardship. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Every civic duty we have causes us to be inconvenienced. What we're talking about here is something much greater. It means that it's something personal to you. That means that I excuse you and the person next to you has to take your spot. I generally think of it in terms of you have airline tickets or surgery scheduled for the time that we will be on trial. But I will hear from anyone who thinks they have a substantial hardship. If that's you, please raise your hand.
She has RBF, Brooklyn.
1098.
RBF.
1131.
Yeah, I don't cuss.
Real
So
bitch face. Oh, rusty bitch face.
yeah.
1091.
Oh.
1009. 1063. 1070. 1075.
I don't believe. I don't believe that all these people have a vacation scheduled.
1072.
All these people have a vacation or a surgery scheduled.
Yeah.
Please.
A lobotomy.
And 86 has something going on. 86 is like, no.
1096.
Great, thank you very much. I am going to leave the bench in a minute to give you a chance to fill out those supplemental questionnaires that will be provided. I'd ask that you not talk to anybody about those questionnaires, that you don't talk about your answers, you don't talk about any questions or concerns that you might have about jury duty, either in general or in particular to this case. If you have any questions or concerns, please bring them up when you come to see me. Again, I thank you for your patience, and we'll see you in a while.
What is she doing? Why is she leaving the bench? So they're just taking a break, or?
That's not a bad thing.
Oh my gosh, they abandoned.
I think I could
Let's
watch
see.
much more jury selection.
Does she come back? Does the stream just end?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. They're filling out forms. Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the stream just ends.
Shall we go back and watch This Dumbest Criminal?
Sure. No, they carried on. Okay, I'll let you know. No, it ended. Okay, yeah, they ended the stream. Okay, I'll watch out for a stream, but yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's what the dumb criminal.
Well, I'll just finish the CLR Bruce Rivers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
So this is the point where he's got sweat running down his ass crack because he's really fucking nervous because he knows the jig is up.
Visiting the family? Is it a planned trip, or was it just kind of like spur of the moment where, hey, I want to go, I'm sick of the fucking cold, there's too much snow up here, I gotta get the hell out.
I can actually stream on my channel today. Yay.
You actually don't want to join Texas.
All right, well, let me show you things.
The detectives believe that Amenra was exiting a smoke shop when he noticed a female inside of his vehicle, going through his belongings. He began arguing with the female, pulled out a firearm, and then killed her.
You can't shoot people. That's a general rule. I know it seems controversial, but you just can't shoot people. I mean, if somebody's stealing your wallet, for example, box of your car, do you have the right to shoot them? No, you don't.
Man, life is so unfair. You can't just go around shooting people.
That's you, right? Is that you? Looks like you. Right?
What'd you show me this is me for?
This is pictures of you, correct? Right? That you too?
I love this swagger with this cop, you know. Yeah, you just done it. You gotta hate fucking snow, don't you?
He always does. But apparently, the rule is on YouTube. You can have a firearm in the screenshot if it's a recorded video, but you cannot have one in a live.
Yes, you can. I've had many firearms in a live stream. You just have to put it under education. Put the
because Runkle has never been able to put like a.
You can't have it under entertainment. You have to have it under education.
Oh, I wonder if he knows that.
I'm friends with him on Discord.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
hear
You
back
just hard to
from
have that
their
underage.
skim?
No, I didn't. I did not.
I just the arrogance and the style. I would just say I'm talking to my lawyer.
So what do toilets look like? Me and this video, these pictures all look the same.
They do look the same, actually. Yeah.
So I look like me.
Yep.
Yeah, and it has to be
Actually, it's
18 or
probably the same
over.
coat you wear. At North Face. Right?
No.
It's not you?
Let me ask you this. Did you ever go to the smoke shop on Mile Avenue? You go there a lot though, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
What does I got to do anything?
Well, I think you know what we're talking about here, okay? Because you're not a stupid person, all right? You're an intelligent guy, all right?
So these interviews are always slay me because there's this component of deception with these. You know, well, you're an intelligent guy, right? You know, have you ever seen the guy,
Morning,
Keith,
Chuck.
Texas or whatever his name is, where
Hey,
he
Chuck.
goes, he talks.
You
to
missed the
these
Karen Reed stuff, but that's
ex-offenders
okay.
and, well, hey,
they'll be
you're not a pedophile who does really bad things. I mean, you just, you know, we're just messing around with your 4-year-old daughter. I mean, hey, you're not that bad guy, you know. And he gets them to talk, right? Well, that's one of the techniques that they use here. You know, it is a manipulative technique to make you think that they're not really against you.
And
you still not telling me nothing.
Well, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
She
all
can
right?
monkey
There was an
us.
incident that happened on Mile Avenue in front of the smoke shop back on January 23rd. All right. And you were in the store before it happened.
Uh-oh. That doesn't look good for you.
No. On what date?
January 23rd.
What day that is?
It was a Sunday.
I've been here since the 23rd.
You've been here since the 23rd?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
so.
said 2 days.
When did you get down here on the 23rd? Morning, night, how'd you get here?
I was here before the 23rd.
Okay.
In Houston already on the 23rd.
Well, when did you think you got down here in Houston?
You know, when you lie to the cops about where you were when, it's not that hard to prove.
Right.
Especially
There's
with your
cameras
digital
everywhere.
Oh, man, what do you? Let's stop this.
Sure.
So now, what you got getting at?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at, because there's obviously two stories, right, that people tell, right? There's always another side.
What story you got me?
Well, maybe we got the wrong guy. I don't know. If you've been down here, what time you got down here in the beginning of January, or like when?
Sir, you wrong guy for what? You showed me a picture of what?
Well, what happened? Did you hear about anything at the smoke shop that you go to all?
So one of the things that's happening here is you have an automatic response.
We won't tell
Your body
anybody.
does. And you don't have any choice on that, unless you're kind of a psychopath. And so that's why polygraphs are not illegal, or you're not allowed in court, because they're not all that reliable. But
They're not.
I guarantee you, his heart's beating fast. I mean, he's being accused of murder here. He doesn't really know it quite yet, but he knows he's being accused of something.
No.
I take that back. He knows what he's being accused of. He's acting like he doesn't know.
What's interesting is that Amenra has a very distinctive hairstyle, beard, and glasses, and he didn't think it was a good idea to change his appearance while on the run from a murder charge. After the warrant was issued, he was very easy to find because he looked exactly the same.
We're not playing any games with you. But, so I think the reality
I don't
is
like the word
that-
snitch either.
All right. I showed you this picture. You're like, that doesn't look like me. But I'm sitting here face to face with you. You don't own a hoodie?
Sir, what is you saying? That look like niggas on black?
Sir, I do not believe you don't own a hoodie.
Now that's racist. You're saying that we all look alike? I mean, are you kidding me? We don't all look alike.
Because it's the same hair, same glasses, same
What hair
height,
do you see?
same jacket.
I don't see no hair. I don't see no nothing.
Okay.
See his glasses.
Amanda, when you came down here to Houston,
We can't hear you,
fly or
Bruce.
take a car?
Bruce, unmute.
I'm talking with a trick question. I want to know what I'm here.
All right, there was a shooting outside of the smoke shop.
Thank you.
All right. So that's what we're investigating. So I got you. Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. You were in the store right before it happened. All right. We know that because we know your phone, and we know you were in the store because you've been in that store a lot. There's 10 cameras. They're good cameras, right? It's a smoke shop. You go to that store 3 times a week. All right.
Sometimes.
All right. Sometimes.
Even if I was at a store, that got to do with me.
Well, that's why we're asking you, because maybe you saw something, maybe you know something.
You came down and texted asking maybe if I saw something at the store.
We go everywhere, baby. You know?
So it's on a suspect? That's what it is? That's what it is?
Well, possibly.
I can't know you got me.
We go everywhere, baby. Baby. I love it when a cop uses the word baby at the end of a sentence.
Suspect? That's what it is? That's what it is?
Well, possibly.
I can't know you got me.
So the last time you were in the smoke shop, you think was when? Well, forgive me, man, because listen, in that area right there at the smoke shop, let me tell you something. Listen, there's the Siri out.
I have a question. Hold on.
Well, let me just finish one thing.
Is it Brooklyn? Oh my gosh.
Because
that's crazy.
There's all the cameras in the smoke shop, right?
I was reading Brooklyn's comment. If that's true, that's crazy.
There's a Department of Transportation.
I'm on a different screen, sorry.
Camera
Oh,
right
that's
there
fine.
at the intersection.
There's so many cameras now everywhere. Just cameras everywhere.
You're being recorded all the time, guys.
I mean,
You
I
really
remember
are.
you ever read the book 1984? You know, where the Orwellian. I mean, it's happening as we speak.
True. That's funny.
The technology is so easy and everything's digitally saved and so everywhere you go there's a camera.
Section of child, right?
Yeah.
And everything is on video, right? Right.
So why clear to me?
Well, because I want to know what happened and why. All right, because it's clear as day. You pull up, you park, you get out of the routine, you go in the store, you're hanging out, you're on your phone, you're actually talking to the clerk. All right. You get your box, you come out, you put your box down in the snow because you see somebody in your car.
Jodie,
Yeah.
you're blasting a song.
You go back, you pick up your box, and you go.
You're blasting a song.
We followed you all the way down. We weren't there, so you can know if we're telling her.
I'm blasting a song.
Right? But you were
Yeah,
there.
you were
happened.
playing so you can bring in Massachusetts.
We don't play cards.
Oh, well, it was playing from somewhere. I wasn't playing it.
What we're saying is the truth.
Okay.
What the fuck happened when you got outside?
One thing he probably doesn't realize, or maybe he's starting to realize it, that he's not going to leave that cinder block room without handcuffs on.
What the fuck is you talking about?
What happened? There was a girl that was in your car, rolling through it. You're on video walking up and shooting a girl in the stomach in the intersection, right in the street on Lyle. Clear as day. You're on 4 different cameras doing it.
These are just from inside the store.
14 cameras.
These are shitty qualities that printed out.
You want me to play the video from you walking in the store, walking out, walking up to the girl? You want me to play the high definition DOT camera?
Sir, listen,
why y'all think people are looking like this? Why y'all think like
I don't think it's because you.
I can't understand anything they're saying.
We wouldn't be here.
Because they're all over top of each other.
People identified you. That's why we're here.
Identify for me shooting somebody?
Yes, sir.
Man, you got to wrap it up. So that's what I'm here for. Y'all come here for me shoot somebody?
Yup.
Yeah.
What the f is y'all talking about?
I'm talking about, we're down here talking about the fact you shot somebody that died.
I shot somebody that died.
You know, a female that was going through your car.
Okay, I understood that.
Yeah, it's on like.
And like I said, you don't have the right to shoot somebody for messing with your property. If they're messing with your child, absolutely. If you're messing with your wife,
Hey, Vixie,
absolutely.
yes,
If
that's
they're trying to mess with you.
Rich
But
Rivers.
The circumstances have to be reasonable. In addition to that,
Blah, blah,
so
blah,
you
blah,
don't
blah,
just
blah.
have the. I mean, if
Vixie.
let's say Nick decides to slap me in the face, I don't have the right to just shoot him. Do I have the right to slap him back? Maybe, but the response has to be proportional. So if somebody's rummaging through your glove box to try to steal, whatever you keep in your car. Well, you just don't have the right to use deadly force to prevent it.
It's on like 5 different videos.
Bullshit.
Well, I'll tell you why is it bullshit?
Bullshit.
Why is it bullshit? Explain it to me then. I listen. I'll love to hear.
So he clearly isn't answering their questions, which is fine. But rather than protest his innocence, he should just ask for a lawyer, because all these things, because he's saying I wasn't there, I left before the 23rd. All these things are probably provably false. And if that's the case, then any defense that he may have had, he won't get the benefit of the doubt because he's already lied to the cops.
Why help me understand why it's not you. Explain it, because maybe you can help me understand. I'd love to. You really can't be serious. Tell us why it's not you. Yeah.
Imagine if you were suddenly arrested and told you are being investigated for murder. How would you react? You would be very angry, ask lots of questions, and demand a lawyer.
That's not necessarily true. You should ask for a lawyer regardless. But I've seen just a myriad of reactions from absolutely.
Did you see he got out yesterday?
You know, because
he got out
yesterday,
died
and they knew them.
The
and
kid
and
who
all of a sudden,
stabbed the
you're
other
on the hook
kid. Can
for
you
it,
pause this for a
but
second?
You didn't really know you were on the hook for it, and I didn't really know he died, and what the hell happened, you know? And so
the track athlete that stabbed the other track
I haven't seen
star. Oh, okay. So 2 high school kids, both 17. One stabbed the other one in the chest, and he died like instantly. And he admitted to it as soon as the cops seen him, and he got charged with 1st-degree murder, and they dropped his bond to $150,000 and dropped the charge to 2nd degree, which
what type of deal?
I'm going to get on my soapbox. I do not think it should have been dropped to 2nd degree, because he took a weapon to school. You don't take a weapon to school unless you intend on using it. Come at me if you want to. My email is missmandy777@hotmail.com.
Was he being picked on? Was he?
This was their first time meeting. He said he put his hands on me.
Right.
I don't care. He did not put his hands on you and stab you or have a weapon. It was premeditated. Yeah. I'm so glad you guys.
Any motive?
I don't think he had motive, but he stuck his hand in his bag and said, "Touch me again and see what happens." So that shows that he was planning at that moment. Even if he wasn't planning it for days, he planned it at that moment. So he's going to have a really hard time. And all the lawyers on YouTube are saying he's going to have a hard time with self-defense. So, but you know, his GoFundMe raised more than the GoFundMe for the victim. The GoFundMe for the murderer.
Are you fishes?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, sorry, I'm off my soapbox about
it. No, that were.
It's a horrible situation, but there's a race difference too. So people are saying racial stuff, which I don't think it has anything to do with it personally. I don't, but people are saying that it does. It shouldn't be brought even into consideration.
No. I've been just playing with this AI.
Yeah, that too. The unalived kid died in his twin brother's arms.
Oh.
His twin brother seems completely just messed up over it.
I have not had a second chance to even watch YouTube for pleasure. I have no idea what's going on other than Karen Reid. If you look at my search history in YouTube, it's really, really sad.
You've put a lot of work into this. You really have. You're amazing.
I have not stopped behind the scenes. Not stopped for 1 second.
You're amazing. Defense rest. Let's raise the roof for her.
But I just did some ask some questions because I've uploaded the first trial completely to this. It's a legal database that is driven by ChatGPT, but it's based on what you put into it. So I've put in all of the entire trial transcript into it. And I've started asking, I'm learning how to ask it questions because it's interactive and it will give you the answer that is based on what's been provided in testimony.
Brooklyn, is that today? Is that happening? Pam Bondi is having a news conference soon in Fulton County about
Who's Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi is the Attorney General of America.
Okay.
Betty
Wallace was a lawyer for someone. I know that name.
She was the Attorney General of Florida. That's today. Oh, let me let Jason know.
Bribed. Bribed.
Stop.
Oh, he speaks.
Yeah, let me let Jason know. I'm sure he'd want to know that.
Oh, Teresa.
Thank you. She deserves it. She deserves it.
No.
She deserves it.
Yeah.
Yay. Look, too bad we're not on my StreamYard. You get a jump scare.
Well, you get
I haven't been.
Out to the person that just gave us a super chat. This community is just the best. Love you all the different
Oh my gosh. Let me let
Teresa, you need that money to paint. So stop it.
She's in Fulton County now. I need to let Jason know that.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I'll be right back. I'm going to let Jason know that.
No worries.
I haven't been speaking because you lot have had me doing maths.
All right. Do you want to go through it then? Shall I?
Not yet, because I haven't finished. I'm still working out what the impact force would be.
As in pounds per
square inch.
Got all my paperwork. All right. Well, I'll start going through some of the questions I've been asking then. I'm just going to work out how to bring them up. Because once I get used to it, I'll be able to just have it on the screen and you can ask a question and I can type it in and it will give you the answer. But the main reason I wanted to do it was to compare trial 1 to 2 as per each witness's testimony and to see if there was any discrepancies between the two. Now I was doing I asked it if there was any factual evidence that there was a vehicle pedestrian collision. This is page 1 of the result I got. Based on the transcript summary provided, there is no explicit mention of factual proof of a vehicle pedestrian collision presented in the testimony from the first responders. The witnesses, Canton police officers and firefighters, paramedics provided details on the crime scene and the medical response, but the summary does not indicate that they presented concrete forensic evidence such as vehicle impact analysis, skid marks, or injuries conclusively linked to a collision. If you're looking for specific proof, do you want me to find further? And I said yes. So we now have page 2. Based on the transcript, wrong one, sorry. Hang on. Image file. Page 2. Thank you. All right. So prosecution. Massachusetts State Police crash reconstruction expert Trooper Joe Paul testified that data from Reed's SUV indicated she performed a 3-point turn, which was apparently done on arrival to facilitate. Was it Ryan Nagel arrived at the same time, and to be aligned, she came in from one position and had to do the 3-point turn to park to fit him in. He could park behind her. During which the vehicle reversed up to 24 miles an hour in a 3-point turn. Paul stated that O'Keefe was struck by the SUV and projected more than 30 feet. He noted that O'Keefe's injuries, including blunt force trauma and scratches on both sides of his body, were consistent with pedestrian collisions. The prosecution also presented physical evidence such as fragments from Reed's broken taillight found at the scene and a hair, which I actually looked into last night as well, from O'Keefe discovered on her vehicle, suggesting contact between the SUV and O'Keefe. Now, have you seen the video of them collecting Karen's car from her parents' place and how deep that car was in snow? There was absolutely no way that anything on that bumper could have survived that being driven backwards and then up onto the tow truck, because it was like half door deep in snow, completely covered. It's challenged prosecution claims by presenting experts who argued that O'Keefe's injuries were inconsistent with being struck by a vehicle. Crash reconstructionists from ARCA testified that damage to Reed's SUV did not align with the pedestrian collision. And then it went on to page 3. Excuse me. To do with Dr. Marie Russell. Defense expert Andrew Rentschler stated that there was insufficient evidence to determine the cause of O'Keefe's head injuries or the circumstances surrounding the event. So there you go. I don't understand where on the vehicle that injury could have been caused to his head with that, and the amount of blood loss. Oh, that's what I found too. A picture of the blood on scene. Where is it gone? Pictures. Picture. I found a few funny pictures on X. Some people have some good sense of humor, I tell you. Where did it go? Yeah, now you're working out all those pounds per second, what per blah blah blah. Yeah, apparently the human skull is stronger than the polycarbonate material that the taillight's made of. It withstands a greater impact, apparently. How's that for engineering?
Depends on point of impact, depends on the human skull in question. There are so many variables on that a blanket doesn't work. That's why the dog bite, mold and shit won't hold up. Look, it's a load of crap. The argument with the dog bite from both sides is farcical.
But, yeah, I can see how it can be a dog. I could, just by looking at it. I actually took a screenshot of a good photo of it. So much shit everywhere. Is it that one? I think so. See that one? So
could it be what was on his knuckles? Could those have been dog bites from trying to pull him off of John?
Who?
Oh no, because they had healed, hadn't they? Yeah,
see the middle bit where his elbow is? There's puncture wounds, like there's dots. Round dots. And my theory
and biting and pulling and biting and pulling.
My theory is that center bit where the elbow is the actual bite, and the two bits on the other side are the claws.
Yeah, and holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gotten a really good grip and grasp on it. That's why it's
Yeah. Vixie, you're dead on.
What was that? Oh, absolutely. If an injury from that material, it's a say that's a piece of tail light. If that is going to cut you, it's going to create a V and a deep one. Yeah, it's gonna if you're gonna get a wound like that, it's something that is going across like that. Apart from the middle bit, they're puncture wounds. Which part of the tail light, pointy bit, caused a circular puncture wound?
The tail light doesn't have to have caused these injuries, though.
No, that's true. So what part of the undercarriage caused it?
There are so many clips, bolts, protrusions that could have caused these damages. The biggest problem from this photo for the dog bite claim is the spacing is way off.
Yeah,
this dog would have had to have had the most freaky feet in the history of all dogs in order for the scratches to line up.
No, because their paws with pressure spread.
Could it not have been a dog
look
trying to
at
pull
the
him
angles.
To safety, like a dog trying to get him help, maybe?
No, look at the angles, specifically at the upper arm.
Yeah. Now imagine the elbow is bent.
That would still not give you those, and the spacing is still wrong for a dog foot. It is way off.
What I picked up. Sorry. What
this whole thing
letting Chloe outside and just not watching her, and she sees John laying in the snow, and she grabs him and tries to pull him.
No.
This is a reaction to protecting her owner.
And that's possible too. That's a great possibility. And he has his arm like this, and she bites and pulls, and he's pulling back.
There's not enough tearing.
There's that bite
nowhere
down
near
and that
enough
pull,
tearing.
You can see where the skin was pulled here. It looks painful to me.
There's nowhere near enough tearing.
Looks like it hurt to me.
Oh, yes, it would hurt, but there's just not enough tearing.
You can see that too.
Designed to tear.
You can see that too, bro. Yeah, he was definitely found on his back. Little digity there.
There is this whole thing with the dog is a mistake by the defense, and it's a mistake by the prosecution. Why they are arguing about it is stupid. They're not going to convince anyone with it. They don't have, neither side has the evidence or anything to convince somebody with that dog bite.
But you do know who Brennan is putting on as his rebuttal witness, don't you?
Hmm.
The dog bite, his supposed dog bite
expert
witness. Yeah.
Who?
The dog bite expert.
Who's his dog bite expert?
The guy they had that big motions hearing about. I can't think of his surname now.
I know that they got imprints from Chloe supposedly, but we have no video, no pictures, no nothing of Chloe.
That's as Dan was saying before, the variabilities with skin rigidity.
Russell, Dr. Russell is the defendant.
Teeth strength. teeth strengths, whether there was any damage, like how hydrated John was. There's so many variables. It doesn't matter. That mold will make no difference whatsoever. But the jury don't understand that.
And there is a huge problem with any form of bite mark analysis. It should never be allowed in a court. It is not a science. It has resulted in the wrong people being executed when it's come down to murder trials. This alleged science is very, very dodgy. And the main guy who promoted this bite mark analysis stuff that you have in the States, the guy was as corrupt as hell. He literally ran all this thing where he would appear in trial after trial as an expert witness. He ran it from next door to a tattoo parlor in a strip mall. He wasn't a proper expert. He was just some joker who found a way of making money.
But that's not 3 liters of blood. Sorry. Crosby, thank you. Yes, the Crosby dude. And not Bill. He's been naughty boy too, apparently, hasn't he?
The defense would be much better off, rather than throwing this dog nonsense out, to argue and try and force the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that those injuries came from the undercarriage of a car, and specifically what part. This dog bite nonsense is just that. It's nonsense and noise, and it will not work.
A lot of people have said that because Dr. Russell, do you know how she came to testify at the trial? What the lead up was? So apparently she saw, well, she's having lunch with friends, and she's and I think she's retired now, but she was an ED doctor, but like supervisory, and took a particular interest in studying dog bites because she saw quite a lot of them come through the emergency department. And one of her colleagues said to her, "Have you seen these pictures of this trial? This lady's been accused of blah blah blah," and they asked, querying whether the marks on his arms were caused by a dog, and showed her the pictures. And she contacted the defense and said, "Hey, I've been studying this for years, and I've taken a particular interest in it. I would be more than happy to come and testify to my knowledge towards that." But she didn't get paid, nothing. She volunteered for it. And Brennan put her through 2 days of interrogation, even after a voir dire in the first trial. She may not have like you can't go to college and go, "All right, I'm going to get a PhD in dog bite analysis," I suppose. But her experience and observations and studying of the results of dog bites and stuff, it's like all right, so if you're a gardener and you've seen what black spot on roses looks like, yeah? If you saw a picture of it, you could pretty much go, "Yep, that's black spot." Does that make sense?
It does, but it also highlights a problem. There is no requirement in terms of what makes you an expert before a court. And there really needs to be. There needs to be some kind of standard of, no, you can't be called an expert unless you have XYZ in this field.
There is a definition of what needs to be required to be an expert, but I don't think there is anything specific to the dog biting bit. But the judge basically stated after she allowed her to testify was mainly because she was a doctor. She had a PhD. So, but then when Brennan brings his expert in, who doesn't have a PhD, she let him through as an expert. So,
yeah, it's a problem that there is, regardless of which side, whether you think Karen Reid's guilty or not is irrelevant. It has highlighted a problem there is with the legal system.
And really, at the end of the day, this didn't kill him. So, it's neither here nor there. What the fox could have bitten him. They need to work out how he got the blunt force trauma to the back of his head. And there would have been some damage somewhere on that vehicle to have shown an impact, surely. Because the amount of pressure that the force that it does take to crack a skull. There have to be something.
Well, you see, you've got to remember there are actually two impacts. If you accept that the car hit him, then there would be two impacts, not one.
In the same motion?
There's the impact of it's two separate. You've got the impact of the vehicle hitting him and then the impact of him hitting whatever he hits. There are two impacts.
But did you just see the snow picture I put up where her body was found?
This is the thing. There's also questions about, okay, that picture is a crap quality picture for starters, and Jesus Christ, invest in better cameras, people. You know, this is kind of important. You're talking about someone's murder. Maybe buy decent equipment.
Maybe do a proper investigation or get a crime scene.
So, we have some unknowns. What exactly was in that snow? Was there any rocks in that snow? Was there any sticks in that snow? Was there any metal parts in that snow? We don't know, because no one bothered to bloody make any kind of list.
Yep. And apparently half of the CERT team, the guy that was running it, didn't even know who they were. They all turned up out of uniform and had never seen them before. 3 of them. Like, they could have been
there's all sorts of questions to be asked. But these are not, because the defense is so fixated on this dog bite nonsense, they're not asking these questions.
Yep. Yep.
And it's stupid because these questions keep forcing the prosecution to admit they don't know the answers. Every time the prosecution admits it doesn't know an answer, it tilts the balance more to reasonable doubt.
But
instead of doing that, the defense is running round about a dog that really is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's like you've got all the clickbait ones who are going on and on and on about this car can't do 24 miles an hour in reverse. Oh, yes, it can.
All right, then. Have you finished your little tippity tap?
Well, because of the way this car works, the theoretical speed, I mean, you'd never want to do it, but the theoretical reverse speed of this vehicle with all of the gearing, the engine, the tires, the ring and pinion gear ratios, everything equates to... It can actually do 66.36 miles per hour in reverse. Please, God, do not ever try it. You will kill yourself.
Yeah. Well, apparently people did try to get to 24 and they couldn't control the car at 24.
No, it went completely out of control. That's true.
Toyota say, yes, it absolutely can be done at 24. This is Toyota's own figures that my stuff is based on.
Yeah.
They say it can do 66.36 miles per hour in reverse.
I'm not buying that.
Speed limiter? Even with the speed limiter on?
Isn't a speed limiter.
Yes,
what that is, no, it's not an actual speed limiter. It's not.
Governor.
It's not it's not a proper governor. It's not a speed restriction in the sense that there's a hard limit.
Right.
What it is how it affects the automatic braking and various other safety features on the vehicle.
Yep. Did they engage?
What there is a RPM red line of 6,000 RPMs.
Yep. Do we know what the
Stop the
RPMs
engine.
were on her readings? Like,
to do 24 miles per hour, the RPMs would have to be 2,170. The RPM red line is 6,000, so it's well within.
So
now to get the necessary force, the torque force, it would found that the engine would have to be run at 2,200 RPMs, and it would take 87% of the engine's torque at that RPM to require the necessary force to send the body.
Did it say a distance that needed to travel for that?
That would be between 24 and 30 for the distance.
As in feet or meters?
Hang on, what did I do again?
This was the graph that we started to look at that Aussie Insider sent me about it, and that's how Dan started on his deep dive into looking at, because according to this chart, it says that the safety limits on the actual Lexus LX 570 limited it to, it would kick in at, hang on, let me play it some more. It will kick in at about the 12 miles per hour, and it would limit it to the 22 miles per hour, apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So that's what Dan's explaining now, that this, and it is the actual measurement of the speed was that's on tire rotation and tire variabilities and sizing.
It takes tire size, tire height, which is not. It works partly on the diff. That's what you've got with the ring and pinion gear ratio, which is 2.4. The reverse gear ratio of 3.79. Then you have the tire height, which is 33, which is not the same as a tire size.
If she had the standards on. But the measurements itself were taken from the tire rotation, not the diff, yeah? Is that right?
You take from both. It's a complicated mathematical formula. That's why I've been pulling my hair out going, I fucking hate maths and wish you all dead.
The one that they presented, like from her car readout, did that measure?
I haven't looked at that at the moment because I didn't want it to interfere with my maths. I didn't want it to influence in trying to prove what they said was right or what they said was wrong. I just wanted to do the maths, come up with an answer, and then see how it compared to theirs.
Do you want me to show your math equation?
No. I doubt people are really, really interested in it that much. What I will work out is the distance required. You can do it won't be exact because we don't know the exact road conditions, tire wear, etc., but we can do a rough calculation of the distance required to get up to that speed based on her slamming her foot on the accelerator.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if what the prosecution say happened did happen, if we just take that assumption for a minute that she reversed into him, she's not going to have gently reversed. She's going to have mashed her foot into the accelerator.
Yep.
Because, you know, you don't do things gentle when you're in a range.
And how did she know how far to go forward to know what speed she needed to get to do that damage in reverse?
Oh, she wouldn't know. There's there's maybe 6 or 7 people on the planet who could do that kind of maths on the fly.
Yeah.
She is not one of those people.
No. Because according to the prosecution, it's 60 feet it would take to get to that speed in reverse.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at,
and
what that distance would actually be.
And to drive 60 feet forward is a big distance. And it's a big,
Well, she may not have had to have gone 60 feet forward because there's one vital piece of information that's missing. We don't know at the point she started going forward to get the room to reverse back, how far away from the vehicle was he at that point? Was he stood next to it? Was he stood partly behind it? We don't know.
No one saw him near the vehicle.
So that creates a problem because we don't know how far she'd have to go forward in order to have room to reverse.
Exactly.
Now, there should be, I will have a look to see if they've entered it all in. From the car's data, there should be how much she went forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we need.
I'll be right back.
Because that also gives him notice too, like the big black thing heading your way. What was that? Oh. Oops. I was looking because I found a picture of what she would like where, because the other issue for there it is. The other issue for me is, could she have seen him? Because the actual pillars in the car could obscure her view in reverse.
Yes and no, because that image is good in terms of where the sensors are. However, what it doesn't take into account is what you can see from your wing mirrors on either side. Those enhance your visual range.
We get back to the how intoxicated was she?
Exactly. There are
so many variables.
Issues.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, I believe that she did it. However, I'm quite prepared to be proved wrong. I'm also quite open to the fact of the prosecution and the investigation on this has been an absolute screw up. Yeah. And as much as the defense has screwed up, so has the prosecution and the investigation. Whether she's innocent or guilty, this investigation needs to be looked into, and people need retraining and people need firing because it's been botched.
Well, one has been. But
it's more systemic than just one person.
Yeah, he's been the fall guy for sure. But I did find the Canton audit report, if you wanted to take a look at that.
There's things like, okay, Proctor has been fired. Okay. What about his bosses who completely never asked him any of the questions they should have about his relationship with the people?
I do remember reading somewhere that Bukaki and Tully had some form of reprisal. I don't know. But I can't remember what it was, like a stern talking to type of thing. But I can't remember what it was. It was so long ago.
Even if you accept in the beginning, okay, his superiors didn't know anything about the relationship he had with the Alberts. Fine. Okay. What about when that came to light? Why did it take them so long after it came to light to actually do anything?
Mm-hmm.
That's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's irrelevant to whether you believe Karen Reed's innocent or guilty.
Matter who's in the
That's a problem.
Yep. I agree. And there is far too many problems and coincidences and evasive shit to create enough reasonable doubt. There has to be.
Well, this is the thing. Even if you say she's guilty and she gets found guilty, just follow it through. They get the successful prosecution. She's locked up, all the rest of it. Is anyone seriously going to sit there and say, this investigation is exactly how all investigations and prosecutions should be run?
No, absolutely fucking not.
Right. So if you take that, then there must therefore be flaws in the investigation and the prosecution and lessons that can be learned for next time.
Yep. Which is why I think they did the audit, isn't it?
Yeah, but even that audit didn't go far enough, to be honest. It was a bit of a... Also, how can they do the audit now when everything isn't finished? Yeah. We don't know what the end results are going to be yet because the trial isn't finished.
Did you read the audit?
No.
Neither did I. Did you want to have a look or not?
Not really. Doing an audit part way through things to me is just stupid. You wait until the end, then you look at everything that happened and see how mistake A affected outcome.
No, she's been charged with second degree, so there's no intent. No, there was no injuries to the stomach. There was no bruising. There was no broken bones. It was purely, according to the medical examiner, the cause of death was from blunt force trauma to the rear of his head, which caused skull fractures and massive hemorrhaging.
If you take everything the prosecution says as fact, the only part you can argue intent is when she drove off and left him to die. That would be the only part, if you accept everything they say. That would be the only part with any form of premeditation, because she hit him, stopped, and then drove off. So there's that pause moment there that would be premeditated.
The intent would be shown driving forward and reversing back as well. So the Mass State Police are crazy if they ever let any trooper with his or her name attached to this investigation. Do you know? Bri, do you remember if anywhere in the trial they said that Proctor knew Brian Albert at any point prior to the incident? Because I think that there was. What's this? Oh, I've had a look at. I've just done a search to check and see if there was any updates on the trial, and we're the first ones up saying. Thumbnail is the first one on the screen. Here we go. Where'd it go? Da, 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 da. Look at that. First one in my search engine. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I was just checking to see if there's updates.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait. Who's that?
Where?
Oh, that says a docket.
That's the pre-trial hearing. Recovery addicts covering that.
Also,
who's that?
I do want to say the stuff that Brooklyn's asking and all the others that are asking stuff. Really pleased they're asking and the way they're asking. It's great. This is what we wanted.
I just come to unsubscribe. Okay.
Ta-da! Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Dickhead.
You never come to the chat anyway. And you talk all kinds of crap. So later.
I would say, to answer your question, it might involve.
Oops. Sorry. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Now, who was it on Fox that was watching it? Let's see if Law and Crime have got anything. No, they're following. Do you remember me telling you, Mandy? I'd been watching this trial for months, and I'd set it up to play, and that morning they postponed it to May. And then I set it up again, and no one was streaming it. Not one person. And the day the Karen Reid thing started, a couple. Was it last week? Yeah. Now they're doing it. The Jose Morales. Yeah.
There are so many trials going on right now. There is the Iowa Iowa 4. Is that what it's called?
Idaho
4. There's that one, and
well, that's a pre-trial hearing that won't start till later on in the year.
Yeah, I think it's like June.
That's a massive one.
Some,
yeah.
Yeah, that one's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Lori Vallow Daybell, right? Lori Vallow Daybell. That chick is crazy. I mean, everybody knows how that one's going to come out. I mean, she's going to be guilty as sin, and they're going to burn her at the stake right there in front of the judge.
I haven't watched it. I'm not interested in that.
I mean, she's like a cultist.
Yeah.
She married another cultist, and they killed their kids. I mean, that's what happened.
She's gone pro se too, hasn't she?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Lori Daybell, yeah.
Oh, is she pro se?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
she's pro crazy. She's pro crazy. That's what she is. Let me just make sure that this is done. Ban user. Okay. All right. Just making sure that crazy is gone. Ray Williams. I don't know who Ray Williams is, but a lot of people have done.
No idea.
I've been following Natalie Lawyer Chick on Daybell.
Who?
Natalie Lawyer Chick.
Oh, you mean attorney Melanie Little Law?
No, Natalie Lawyer Chick.
Oh, never
I
heard.
love Natalie Lawyer Chick. Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, and a friend. She's great. And Uncivil Law, where are you at?
Yeah, I was just looking at that then.
Is he live?
I don't know.
If you're live, I'm going to kick your butt.
Where did he go? I did see it.
You seen him live?
No.
Because I'm going to go troll him if he's live. I'm a moderator.
Did you not hear back from him yesterday?
Yeah. We're supposed to be like good.
Oh, he was interested.
Yeah.
Right. Let me see. Uncivil Law.
Uncivil Kurt.
15 hours ago, he was live.
Oh, okay.
22 hours ago, he was live. Karen Reid, protesters lose federal court battle. Who else was covering? Did you say NBC Boston or something? Was it?
NBC Boston 10, I think is what it was. NBC 10. Hi, Bri. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Welcome to the Klondike Cubs. Now you get cool emojis like
the Klondikes. Don't ask what she does with the Klondikes.
I eat them. I ate one before I went live today.
The same as you do with black pudding.
What's black pudding?
Eki thump. It's a sausage made of blood and gut, blood mainly. That
sounds horrendous. Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's blood sausage.
Yeah, it is blood sausage.
Now you get cool emotes like red Solo cups. Check it out.
Like these?
Yes.
Do you know what? I use these for my seedlings, my tomato seedlings. I get what do you call it? One of those things that heats up hot iron. You know I can't think of the name of it. It's 1:30 in the morning. The little pointed things that has a tip on the end of it that heats up really hot soldering iron. And I put little holes in the bottom, and I fill them up with my potting mix and my tomato seedlings. They're perfect for growing seedlings. Perfect. Just saying.
You know, they've invented this thing that you can buy without doing any of that work. It's called a plant
tomato.
Harvey Weinstein case started again today. Really? Oh wow! There's so much going on right now.
I can't believe that it was
Vegemite. Somebody sent me some of that, and that stuff is gross.
Oh, there we go. Canton Confidential, the Karen Reid case, day 30 recap.
Oh, I have to go in just a few minutes because I'm going to stream on my channel, and If
we're
if
not
they're
going to
not
get.
if we're not going to get a trial today, I'm gonna.
Nah, I think we've exhausted our searches.
Well, Fox keeps saying it's going to come back, and that's all it says. They say this event will resume shortly.
Which one, Fox?
Did they ever get audio?
Which Fox?
Oh, they never got audio.
Fox News.
Well, then
it's their main YouTube channel.
Oh, I've got Fox News Cleveland. They must be live, are they?
Yeah. And all it says is this event will resume shortly.
Oh, look, it says WNN is live.
Oh, dear God, who watches
wonder what
that
he's
falling
spouting
on
on about.
God, don't watch him. He's horrible.
Miss Mandy's live.
Oh, God, not that old bat.
Hey, watch it.
I mean, she's the only person in the world that makes Joe Biden look young.
Take it back. Take
No.
it back.
Never.
Take it back.
Never.
Oh, speaking of that, okay, we've got to watch a short that I uploaded to Jason's channel. We've got to watch this short. It's I hate to say it, it's really short.
It's a short.
It's a short. Yeah, it's hilarious.
What Fox channel? Fox what? Fox News.
Just Fox News.
Yeah, we got to watch this though. I am so impressed with my work on this one. Can I upload? Can I show?
Yeah, no. Yep. Just take me off. I'm only scrolling.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. This is hilarious. But you have to know a little bit about Tiffany Henyard.
Who's that?
Okay. The Democratic Dance Party. Oops. Sorry. Okay. He's a congressman.
Oh.
And I had him dancing to Tiffany's song. Bernie.
I have no idea who these people are. No.
That's Biden and his wife. And there's AOC. Okay, that you get the point. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Anyway, yeah,
well,
that's was the super mayor. She's not super anything anymore.
So do we think that even if we do get two jurors today, what's the time over there now?
It's 11:30.
11:30. They're not going to start today.
No.
No way.
No. They'll.
No.
Do you think they'll even schedule for tomorrow? Probably.
I don't know.
They're anxious to get started, I think. Does that give the jurors time though to schedule things? Really just depends.
I don't know.
I don't think the judge cares about the jury schedule.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will just have to wait and see. So that means you'll have to make sure you've got your notifications on and
look for community
ring that
posts.
bell. Ring that bell.
Make sure you look for community posts or shorts coming out.
You don't reckon, Brian?
I think they're scheduled. They're already scheduled for all week, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
They did set aside 3 weeks, and this is the third, isn't it?
That's probably on
selection.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very possible that they would go live with jury instructions and opening statements tomorrow. So I don't know.
If they,
I would say be prepared for it. definitely be prepared for it.
Oh, it's Good Friday too, so they've only got 2 days.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's very possible.
And of course, there's nothing on Monday.
Yeah, Monday's a federal holiday.
So you have Monday off as well?
Yep.
Next
Court's
week.
closed. Court's closed.
Right. So potentially this might start next Tuesday.
No, I think they'll start tomorrow.
That's what I think too.
I hope so.
And then they'll have a long weekend break, and then Tuesday resume.
That's what I think too.
It's been dragging on too long. Everybody wants to just get going. There's nobody who wants it to be delayed any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too.
Wow.
Plus, remember, the ones they've already selected of jury are already sequestered, so they're going to be getting antsy because they're sat there going, "Yeah, we're bored."
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we'll let you know. Maybe we can go
shall.
live this evening and let you know, or we will let you know somehow.
Well,
why don't we just plan on being here tomorrow?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
because we can always find bits to recap. They're going to be doing more jury selection. There'll be other bits about the case we can talk about.
Yeah.
So if we make our plan that we're here tomorrow and Thursday, then it doesn't matter what happens inside the court building. We all know what we're doing.
Sounds good. We'll be here tomorrow.
Can we do a Brennan bullshit bingo?
If court is not live, we will play Karen bingo. How about that?
All right. What else? What else can we do? A deep dive.
We can pick on Mandy.
Why do I have a feeling that's going to happen anyway?
Because you're not that old yet that you've completely lost all your mental faculties.
Oh, thank you. Look, you complimented me.
You've only lost 70% of them.
Anyone in chat got any questions they'd like answered or anything that they'd like presented for tomorrow that we can focus on? Any suggestions, requests?
Oh, thank you. Did you like Darth Bev? I made that.
What was that?
Somebody said they liked Darth Bev.
I thought they had, Bri.
I don't think they've officially announced it, but they have announced it, if you get how that works.
I saw that the jury was sequestered, but I don't think it was an official announcement.
What was that?
I don't think they've officially announced about the witnesses either being sequestered, but apparently they have been.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it, Dixie?
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll do some more research and some bits and pieces, and we'll be back here 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, same time, same place. So until next time.
Now, should we make her wait and go out of her mind this time, or should we be nice?
UK, take care of those old buildings over there. They're beautiful.
I could say something in reply to that, but I'm not going to. No. I'm going to behave. I'm going to be nice.
Dan?
Just remember, don't visit Australia because everything wants to kill you.
And until next time, stay the fuck away from Hank Brennan, US. See you then.
Bye, everybody.
It's been 12 months since I quit, and so much has passed us by. Such a scattering with evidence, and some blatant flat-out lies. I bet he wears those silky undies, the ones with that chain made of lace. So you can bring in Massachusetts.